All right, so we're building our ecom brand completely in public, showing you everything on the inside, the sales, the profits, the ads, full transparency. And if you watched my last video, I was explaining to you all of the issues that were taking place because I was still traveling and outside the country, having ad account restrictions, and it was just not great. And I was hopeful that once I got back to the United States, things would be easier. Well, it wasn't. The only warm welcome I got back to the United States was not even ecom related. It was catching some absolute monster fish in Hawaii.
I've seen something like this. Cool stripes.
Wow.
But don't worry, on the ecom side, it's not all bad, and I'm gonna show you what's going on. All right, so if you're not familiar, the brand name is Haven Golf Company, so golf t-shirts if you're just tuning in. And you can see here on the back end of Shopify, between August 17th and August 31st, we did $75,000 in sales, or just a little over. Had a nice average order value of $91, still pretty consistent. The conversion rate actually went up a little bit. I made some optimizations to the website slightly, and we ended at a 2.79% conversion rate, so pretty solid. I'll break all of that down later in the profit and what's going on, but I just want to cover some of the changes that were happening and what was going wrong and what is going right over the last couple weeks here. So one of the biggest issues that was happening during this period were the shipping issues with the warehouse. So the warehouse that we're using, it's Zendrop's 3PL. They are integrating to a new software to help track and manage the orders even better. But there was a problem with the integration, so not all of the orders were shipping out correctly, which led us to have to give a bunch of discounts to customers that had wrong or incorrect orders shipped to them or not shipped at all. And if you're trying to build a brand that you want to exit, customer service is so important. You want to keep them as a loyal customer. You want them to come back, like your company, and ultimately purchase from you again. So what we had to do was send an apology letter and heavier discounts to all the customers that were affected. And it was a solid amount. I believe it was like around 250 customers. So revenue was a little bit down because of that, but it wasn't too big of an issue because it was resolved really quickly. Also, something that did take place with the software switch and integration was the shipping profiles we didn't have set up correctly on the back end of Shopify. So if you go into your Shopify settings and click on, shipping profiles, they just weren't set up right. And if you built your Shopify store before, you know what that means. It's basically like people can't check out because the shipping profiles aren't set up, so they literally can't pay you. And this happened for an entire day. So basically we wasted about $2,000 in ad spend for nothing. And then even worse, on top of that, multiple boxes of our best selling products were lost in the mail. Multiple boxes on multiple occasions. When we place these bulk orders, they're coming from China, going all the way to the warehouse in Miami. DHL lost the shipments on multiple large orders, so it delayed them. We had to open a ticket. We had to figure out where they were. Through the ticket system, they actually found the boxes magically, and so they were arriving like 2 to 3 weeks late. Basically, we couldn't sell any of our best-selling products during this period. And the problem with that is I didn't want to turn off the Facebook ads, because when you turn off and on Facebook ads, it sometimes resets the algorithm for learning. I didn't really want to do that, and they can also still purchase other products and variants on the website, so it wasn't a complete loss of running those ads. It was just extremely inefficient in terms of cost per purchase, which really hurt for a few weeks. But there was some good news that was taking place during this time. We have new ad creatives running. We've got video now, as well as some new high quality images that were taken of all of our products. So for example, during that same exact period, you can see here that the Pat vid, which is our best selling product, was still converting at a $26.59 cost per purchase. All right, so we can take a look at this ad because I know in the past you guys have commented and wanting to see some of them. So it's the high quality video ad that we are testing out, and it's obviously doing very, very well. Only like about 12 seconds long. It's just a high quality ad, and there's music to it, but I can't play that. Nothing special in terms of like UGC or anything like that. It's really just showcasing the product in a really nice way in high quality, presenting that high quality brand value, validating the price that we're selling the polos for. Because also the polos are extremely high quality. It is the same quality as a Bad Birdie if you know the golf niche at all, like a TaylorMade or Nike. So that is some of the good news. And we also have a massive library from the photographer of a ton of high quality shots of all of the products, which are going to be great for brand value and quality, but also advertisements to create with this. If you want to build a high quality brand, you really need to have high quality photos, high quality videos, a lot of content. It is a very tedious thing to do. And if you're like drop shipping and watching this, you don't have to do this right off the bat, but it is something that's really important to invest in if you want to build this brand to make it actually exitable and have that brand quality. So all in all, we have hundreds of great pieces of content to use for emails, for retargeting, and also use these as images for email marketing. Which brings me to the next point of of good news. The OmniSend migration has started. If you haven't watched any of my other videos in this series, we are switching from Klaviyo to OmniSend. And if you don't know what OmniSend or Klaviyo are, and they sound like foreign words to you, they're email service providers. So it's email marketing campaigns using their software to send it out to the emails that you collected. So I'm now working directly with the OmniSend migration team. It's a super simple process to switch email service providers, and they make it even easier. So all I had to do is click on start migration and enter this type form thing, and basically just answer this questionnaire on what we want to move over and how to integrate it. And then they're going to handle everything for me. And I've mentioned this before, but there are some really good reasons from switching from Klaviyo to OmniSend. For example, on OmniSend, you can do email, SMS, push notifications, and Facebook Messenger all in one app, which is absolutely massive right now because 95% of our marketing, at least besides word of mouth, is going through Facebook. So essentially all of the marketing, and having all of those integrations in one place just makes it so much easier. Another thing to take into consideration is pricing. So OmniSend has better pricing than Klaviyo. Klaviyo kind of gouges you. And one thing that I really liked, because we are collecting a lot of phone numbers or SMS, OmniSend's pricing includes both email and SMS, whereas other platforms charge you individually for each. So it gets super, super expensive as you're scaling your brand. For example, in the last 30 days of the email collection software that I'm using, 61,000 of attributed sales have come from it. The email signup rate is great. We've collected 2,236 emails and also 822 SMS. That's a lot for SMS. So it really starts to add up. And one of the coolest things is being able to send email and SMS at the same time versus other platforms. We have to do them separately. It's just a headache to have to set up two different types of campaigns to try to run at the exact same time with the same offers. And bundling that with the pricing for including both email and SMS in your plan that you choose for OmniSend, it just makes way more sense, and it just like streamlines the entire process. And the other thing that I'm super stoked about after the migration is the templates that they already have set up for you. So I absolutely hate doing email marketing and designing it. I am not good at it, especially when it comes to automation and flows. I just don't really know what I'm doing to the full sense. It's just not my expertise. So once we get in here, I mean, they're already going to be migrated to set up, but the automations are so important. So like your welcome emails, your cart abandonment, your browse abandonment, your post purchase, they're all pretty much set up for you. You just can edit them any way that you want. So like if I needed a new welcome flow, so when someone signs up for our newsletter and they want to get 15% off, I can just click in the welcome section, click on customize the workflow. It already is setting up 3 emails for me with timing already placed for me. All the triggers are properly set up to industry standards. It'll wait for a minute, send this email, wait for a day, send this one, wait for 4 days, say this one. And then all you have to do is just edit the emails in here with the templates that are already laid out for you. And then you can just edit them to however you want. You can change this to 15% off. You can add images. It's totally up to you. The platform is just overall a little more intuitive to me. And also it just makes things a lot easier when advertising through email and SMS. If you are considering switching, or you're brand new and you're starting a drop shipping store or an ecom brand, I would highly recommend using OmniSend. It's going to save you a lot of time in the future once you realize all of these problems that I'm talking about with some other providers. So if you want to try them out or you want to switch over, I'll leave a link down below in the description where you can get a discount code, and then they can help you migrate if you need to, or set up your first account and then use all the templates. So it makes it super simple. And some other good news besides that, which I'm super excited for, shipments are still delayed, but big orders are coming in within the next week or two. So we're going to have way more inventory on hand, especially with our best sellers. So it's going to be very, very helpful, especially while running paid advertisements to products that we don't have in stock. The first couple weeks in September might be a little slow because of this, but once they're here and we've got full inventory of everything, it's going to be a lot easier to start slowly scaling back up. And on top of that, everything else is still going pretty well. Like if you look at the conversion rate, even with all of the issues that have been taking place lately, it's still at a 2.79%. And I truly think that is because of the theme. So if we go into the theme editor and take a look at it, it's so important to have a high quality theme in 2025. The free themes, not that great. You want to have one that is fast loading. I mean, look at this. I don't even know what this means technically, but I know this is a good score. Super low. I guess it's basically how much content shifts around, and lower is better. Fast load times, all this is good. And so you don't want people clicking on your advertisement, having it take, 5-10 seconds to load, because they're just going to get bored. They're going to exit, especially if they're seeing your advertisement on social media. On top of that, you want a theme that can actually kind of grow with your brand. Like simple themes are great, but you want some advanced features to make your brand really pop and have kind of like personality. And a lot of free themes can't really handle that. So if you look at the product page here, there's so many different things on the left side that you can completely change and then add to the theme. So my theme has a bunch of different custom things that you can add here to make it look super, super clean, which has been really helping with the conversion rate. And then obviously the most important is optimizing for mobile. So if you can make a really good, clean theme that looks modern, people are going to trust your website more. You're going to be able to get more creative with your brand and your brand voice. And even during these slower times and the issues that are taking place, the conversion rate has still held really, really nicely compared to other Shopify websites. And the good news is this theme is completely free, fully customizable, and AI will make it for you. So this is the exact same theme that I'm using from the AI store builder. So I partnered with Shopify as well as Zendrop to be able to provide this service for you guys. And it's a customized theme, completely free again. All I have to do is go onto the website, and I'll drop that down below in the description. All I have to do is pick your niche, let's say clothing, type in your email, claim your store. You get to choose all of the inputs, so you can pick your colors, like you can say orange is the main color. Pick your banners on your website that you want to define and have on your clothing store. And then the AI will build it for you instantly, and it'll also load products already onto it for you with a supplier. So the supplier that gets linked is Zendrop, and they're actually the supplier that I'm using for the 3PL warehouse as well. I've been using Zendrop for a really long time, and it's great for people that are either scaling their ecom brand and using their 3PL warehouse, which is located in Orlando, or even if you're a beginner, they have a massive selection of products that will ship out of their US warehouse and get great shipping times to your customers. So if you're starting a drop shipping store, it's perfect. I really think the whole plan is if you are wanting to start an e-commerce brand, whether it's like custom items or drop shipping products that you want to scale up and then eventually brand out, using Zendrop makes it so easy. It integrates with your Shopify store in one click. When you go in the order section, so if you receive an order, you can have it automatically fulfilled. Basically, every time that someone places an order on your website, it'll be automatically fulfilled the next day, so you don't have to do anything at all. They have a massive product selection, so you can click on all categories, price range, ships from US or China, all different suppliers. You can basically find whatever you want to sell and list on your first store on here super easily. And then if you find one that you want to sell, like I want to sell this tree ring here. All you have to do is click add to my products. It'll list it onto your Shopify store for you and link it back to their supplier. So then it'll automatically fulfill it once you make a sale on that product. And then if you don't see a product that you want, you can request a product there. So if you have a specific one in mind, they will warehouse it for you. Then once you start making some sales and building up your store, and let's say you want to do some custom branding, they can handle all of that for you under the branding section. And they also can warehouse it for you with their 3PL, which is exactly what we're doing right now. So they're really covering everything from A to Z of scaling with you, whether you're just starting out and you want to use them as a supplier, or you're growing your brand and you want to use them for their 3PL. So if you want to use the same theme that I'm using completely for free, I'd grab that down below in the description. And if you already have a theme or you're running a store and you want to check them out as a supplier, I'll also leave a link down below for Zendrop with that. All right, so those are the major things that have happened over the last couple of weeks here. Always still running into issues, especially when you're trying to grow a brand that you want to exit in the future. But all in all, the brand is still profitable, so that's a good thing. And I know what you guys are coming here for, and it's mainly just to break down profit. And again, full transparency. So we're going to do that right now. All right, so we can see August 17th to the 31st. So the last 2 weeks, $75,549 in sales. Now going over to our advertising costs on Facebook, $45,092. This is kind of the biggest cost for most people, advertisements or advertising products that were not even in stock, which made things a little bit more difficult. But besides that, the ad metrics themselves were actually pretty good. So it's nothing wrong with the advertisements or the product. Then we also have to subtract the cost of goods sold. So if we go into reports and finance summary, and so you can see here for this time period, the cost of goods sold, $13,395. Let me just add this up so far so we can keep track. $75,549 in revenue. Ad costs on Facebook, $45,092. Cost of goods sold was $13,395. Now we have to break down the Shopify fees for this time period. So the payment processing fees, any apps that were charged as well. That came out to a total of $2,151. And then we have to minus the shipping cost. And shipping cost is on average $5.50. Sometimes it's a little less, sometimes it's more, just based on how big the package is. But with around this average order value, the shipping's about $5.50 on average. So we had 839 orders times 5.5. That's 4,614. We're at 14,911. minus 4614, which brings us to 10,000. But we also had some returns coming in. And so the returns, we can't get our money back, obviously, on Shopify fees, and we can't get our money back on advertising, but we get the cost of goods sold back. So the return amount during this period was 2,614. Now we have to divide this by the average order value. This isn't 100% accurate, but it's super close and kind of the best that you can do. So 91.41. So 28.6 orders were returned out of the 839 orders. And then we have to multiply that by the costs of the t-shirts. So that brings us out to $458, not necessarily going back into revenue, but it's inventory not lost or actually shipped out. We got that back. So add that back in there. It's 10,297, bringing the total net profit for the 2 weeks at $10,755. And then if you divide that for the profit margin over the total revenue, 14% margin of profit revenue here. So still very healthy, not to where we should be at like the 25 to 30 range or plus, but hey, the business is still profitable even in the most struggling of times and all the issues that have been taking place. And also on top of this, making about almost $11,000 in 2 weeks is really not too bad, but it's not exactly where we want to be, especially as we're trying to scale the store and fight all of the inventory issues and then the advertisement restriction issues that have happened in the last month. All right, so that is the update on Haven, how everything's going. Again, hopeful for next month. Hope everything gets settled. We have inventory, no advertising restrictions, a lot of new content to post. So hopefully start scaling it up again. It's not going to be to the point where I thought it would be, but that's the name of the game in ecom. You can't have every single month being the top one. You just got to keep pushing forward, moving through all of the issues, conquering them, and then essentially making sure that they don't happen in the future as you scale. So that's the full transparency of it. I hope you guys like these videos and I hope you guys like this series. If you do, make sure to follow along, hit the like button, leave a comment if you guys have any questions on it. And also if you guys want additional help building your ecom stores, we do live coaching calls every single day in Conversion Club. It's not a mentorship, it's more of a group and coaching process. If that's interesting to you, I will leave that down below in the description as well. Got some cool videos coming up for you guys, so stay tuned for those. I'm actually gonna go out tonight and do some more fishing, so hopefully I can catch a bigger fish this time. All right, I appreciate all you guys. Glad to be back in the United States, and I will see you guys next time.